high up as Rune. His glasses are proof of his sinister plans. Yes, Nadia knows. She knows that everyone that wears glasses is evil in this series. Oh, that has to be a joke. Hello, everyone. That's right. It's finally time to continue with more Kuro no Kiseki 2. I finally have the time to come back and talk about my experience with, well, I'm not certain if it's chapter 1 because they call it an interlude. Okay, so we start things off at 12:09 back at Van's office. And he's thanking Swin and Nadia for their help yesterday in fighting the Grendel Zolga, but I knew these two were in the game before I watched the OP. That had been spoiled for me. So I was very excited to see when they would show up. I didn't know they would show up so early. I love Nadia so much. She might be one of my favorite characters in the series, which is crazy to say in this when there's so many characters, and she was really only introduced technically Cold Steel 4. Oh, yes, in her new outfit. I do really like this outfit more than her Kuro 1 outfit. Oh yeah, look, okay, so her hat thing has the same little accessory as Kaino Kiseki. I wonder if it had the same one in... I wonder if it's just the same type of hat that she always wears, it's just different colors. Yeah, Nadia's like, ooh, you look great in these casual clothes. Cuteness is justice. Oh, I just noticed she has the little 3 and 9 symbol on her hip there. I was wondering where those moved to. I do really like this outfit on Agnes. It's a lot more mature, I think. Of course, yep. Agnes and Elaine both fishing for compliments from Van. And Nadia's like, ooh? And they're just sipping some coffee, yeah. How much sugar did she put in it, by the way? Yeah. Oh, milk. Yeah, now it's more like milk tea. Oh, Van, he's just like, no, I love sugar. I got a sweet tooth. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the details. Yep, we get introductions. Swin. And Nadia. Oh, they misspelled that in the translation there, but it's fine. Oh, and the voice acting shuts off. Yeah, that's been Van's secret plan all along. Hire Agnes to be the face of his office so that he gets more clients. Yeah, that's just Nadia. She's just joking around. Oh, and of course they know her association with Graham Hart. Of course they would. Oh, and then here's the music. Here's the Koguchi goodness coming in again. Doo 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 doo. Gosh, just Cloudy Cloudy is such a good track. I'm not even paying attention to what they're talking about. What are they talking about? Oh, they're talking about Rune. Okay. It's his way of protecting her. Ah, because she's the daughter of Graham Hart, so, and because Rune is the head of the CID, yeah, it felt like he was more of like a bodyguard than as if he was just simply protecting her out of, you know, as if she were just a normal person or just a regular civilian or whatever. He was doing it out of a sense of obligation. Oh, Nadia is so fun. I love her personality. She's like all the best parts of Alphen. And she's like Alphen and Muse combined into one character, but not as crazy as Muse. She's just super fun and trolly, and I just love her. She's just super analytical, and she's able to just pierce through the heart of everything. She gets super into that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a habit from her Her old days. Oh, on yes. You have no idea. Kinda true, yeah. They do kind of are like Van in that sense. Oh my gosh, she's talking about she's still Van's like, what? He activated his nep. Anger. You stole my pudding. Oh. Maybe. It could be another joke. Nadia, if you keep joking like that, Van's gonna stab you. You never joke about a man's pudding. Maybe in another reality. I just love their dynamic. I love Swin and Nadia's dynamic. It's so good. It's just fun. They're just fun characters. Okay, now they're talking about when they met. So yeah, they apparently didn't meet when I thought they did. Van wasn't the one that smuggled them out of the country. So it was something else that I don't think they talked about what it was specifically that Van did. Okay, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of why they showed up. I think they said they were looking for somebody. They came here for a very important reason, but I still want that information on the... Okay. Investigate something in the capital or find something. And they're hoping to get Van's help. Yeah. You could help us with this. Honestly, I can't wait to see what other crazy animated cutscenes we get in this game. If that was just a taste... I've been told apparently that's just a taste. Apparently, like, the really amazing cutscene comes up later. As far as, like, the animations and just the overall choreography and the quality of it. Oh, I can't wait. I know Kiseki's gonna be crazy. If you guys watch that video, where I looked at the gameplay stuff, oh my goodness. Like, I was already impressed with this game. Ooh. Gilga calls. I actually forgot that Gilga called. Oh, that's right, no, Gilga's the head of the CID. Yep, and then Swin and Nadia disappeared. Because Gilga called. And Agnes is gonna be like, wait, what? They were sitting right in front of us, weren't they? Yeah, she's like, what? What do you mean? Oh, they're gone. What? It's a little special. It's a joint request from CID and Marduk. Yep, okay. And then I think... I forgot her name, but I think she calls soon. So yeah, this is where the Reverie stuff comes in. The similarities to Reverie. Yeah, Kilika's just acting as an intermediary. Just delivering the information to Van. They have more of the details. Oh, and he gets a call from Marduk right away. I wish it was Reset. I was really hoping it was Reset. But no, we get this new lady. Energetic woman. But this is the other concierge that we see in the opening. I love her accent. Right, because Marduk's headquarters are in O-Red. Mirabelle Alton. I like this Mirabelle more than a certain other Mirabelle. Let's hope she's not evil. Let's hope she's not a secret enforcer. Or a cult member or something. You never know. You gotta suspect everybody at this point. Even that random old man on the street. I know your secret, old man. Okay, so talking about it's gonna be a real while until we see Reset again, unfortunately. Even though I just saw her not too long ago. And so did the cameraman. It's a project designed to expand its clientele to the general public, along with the population of the Zypha. Marchen Garten is how they pronounce it. The fairy tale garden. Which is what I will probably just call it, just for simplicity's sake. Yeah, it's a virtual reality space. You die in the game, you die in real life. Using the Zypha and the Orbital Net. Yeah, it's basically an expansion of the virtual combat simulator that we had in the first game. Far more expanded. This is where the Reverie stuff comes in. Because it feels like, I forget what the area was called, but the place that you would go to with all the palms, and like all the really like high XP enemies. But they want this to be more of like a for the general public. So that's pretty cool. In concept. And it got hijacked. Yeah, of course. Probably by Mr. Harwood. He probably had something to do with it. The source code was stolen as well. Yeah, that's pretty bad. When also the source code gets stolen. Yeah, that's crazy because Marduk is one of the most advanced sort of technological places in Zemuria right now. They have some of the highest like cybersecurity stuff because that's not really something that's implemented as much as it should be as far as the OrbitNet, which is this game's version of the internet. It's something they've been slowly working on ever since the Crossbell games. But like if their level of security was breached, that's some insane levels of like hacking skills there. Which, you know, if I had to guess, it's probably those two enforcers that we saw last time. They're probably the ones that hacked into it. You know, kids today, they're good with computers. You know, they grew up in that world. So see, okay, so they haven't been able to achieve the high performance AI like the Babel incident, which is talking about Mare when she goes super realism mode, which we still don't know how. Took place at the same time as the Crimson Monster appeared. So that definitely has something to do with it. Was he created in that virtual space as sort of a byproduct of them hijacking it? And then somehow escaped the simulation? And started going on a rampage? Is that why? Huh, is that why when we see the evil mare, she's not materialized fully. She's kind of like a hologram, more of a projection. Is her physical form located inside of the fairy tale garden? Because I had a crazier theory that I will probably get to later during the gameplay segment. That would actually make a lot of sense if they were escaped programs in a sense. Well, at least her. So then I wonder if she has the power to turn the Trenchcoat Man into the Grendel Zolga, and he is just sort of a created puppet that Harwood cooked up in a lab. Yeah, now they're talking about Mare possessing Yume from the last game. And Agnes is just kind of thinking of things. She's like me. She's like trying to figure everything out, trying to piece things together. she's that GIF, that math GIF. She's just like, all this information. Now they're resonating with each other, and Mare's about to show up. Yep, here she is. Just to do her little twirl. Where do you go, Mare, when you're not here? That's what I want to know. She's been listening. Working on it behind the scenes. Here we go. Okay, Mare. Again, it's that situation of the word that no longer exists in our world. We and the players, well, I say we as in the characters, and us, the players, can't understand what she's saying. I am a venerable blah 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 blah. You know. I'm not someone you can just casually rely on. A venerable what? I want to talk about it now, but I'll wait. I probably already talked about it last time. I don't remember what I talked about last time. I can clearly hear it, but yeah, we can't recognize it. It's a word that just like it sort of exists on a higher plane that we just can't understand what it is. She's definitely unique. I feel just a little bit of pleading and she crumbles. He's like, okay, fine, I'll help. Go, do it, Mare. We believe in you. Spin to win. Good job, Mare. Now we can access the virtual world by using your Zypha as a launch point. I wonder if this will be like Reverie, where we can just access it whenever we want to, and we'll have to sort of get stronger, in a sense. But we can still run around the outside world. Okay, yep, now we're booting up. Now we're syncing up with the supercomputer. We just got chilling in our office there. Look at this. I like this music. It just is it just me? But this theme. Yeah, okay, here it is. Interlude. It's not chapter 1, it's Interlude. So I'm not sure what to call this. I guess I'll just call it Interlude. But the music for this area, it doesn't sound like anything, like, as far as, like, Trails. It's the least sounding Trails music that I think I've heard in the series so far. It's different, but it's really good. Yep, and then Nadia and Swin are just like, hey, we're here. We've been on their radar because of something that happened with one of their employers. Interesting. Oh, Rufus. I wonder what Rufus is up to. What are you doing, Rufus? You just having picnics with Lapis somewhere? She's probably the one dragging him around all over the place. Yep, now we get to the exploration part of the game. Defeat 3. Ooh, okay. This is something that was really cool. So you get like little mini missions inside of the garden in order to progress to the next area. Whereas in Reverie, you just had to run around and find the switch. Find the right switch to lower the barrier to access the elevator, right? In this one, it's different. You get little missions that kind of change with every floor you go to. And I think that's really cool. They're kind of like the extra missions that you got from... Yeah, now I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, what are these crystal things? And then that, I was like, what the heck? But those little things are tokens that popped out of the crystal, and you can use those to buy things, I think. I haven't actually gotten to a point where I can use them, but I was just admiring the view. I was like, wow. Yep, going through the achievements, pushing Nadia out of the way. Get out of the way, Nadia. I want to look around. And I was just like, oh man, who do I want to play as first? Yeah, I haven't gotten to the part where I can expand these yet. I imagine I can do that in the next chapter. I played as Agnes first. Interesting. Oh, that's right, because I wanted to see, like, how different she felt compared to Daybreak. Like, Agnes doesn't feel too different, but her movement is definitely a lot smoother. I was just kind of trying just basic stuff. Oh, Nadia's bear! You can buy the bear! You could actually buy it from Falcom's store. And it's actually surprisingly cheap. It's like 60 bucks or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want the bear. I want it. Oh yeah, and Swin's mark came back. It's one of those things where the concept of his marking is really freaking cool, right? Like, he does an attack, he marks an enemy, and then his next attack is a guaranteed critical. But it's just... I'm just like running around as Swin because I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to play as Swin. Nadia. Oh, this music. I think this is Regain the Administration, I think. Oh, that's so cool, man. Oh man, you missed. It's crazy. And even look at this, like the slight improvements from this to Daybreak are very noticeable. But then comparing this to Kai is almost, it's like, bro. The improvements are, they really went all out. They were like, we can do better. Yeah, I think I played as Swin for a while. Because I found his style for the action sections very, ooh, this, okay. I don't know if I did this very much. So apparently after a perfect dodge, you have a brief window of time where you can do a cross charge, which is where you'll switch to another character, and you get it sort of an enhanced charge attack. So that's really cool. Oh, right, and then I was trying the search function, because I was like, oh, does this do anything now? I don't think it did. Yeah, there's a pain inhibitor. So, of course, essentially everything that happens in here, it's essentially as if it's real. Which is, of course, that's just the trope with these types of things, right? Oh, Swin is just so fun. Oh, I love that spinning move that he does. Swin might be the best, like, field battle character to use. He feels fun, really fun to play with. Oh yeah, the window for the cross charge is also really small. I love the combos that he does. It's so cool. It's just, it's fast. He feels the most like a Devil May Cry character to me. I love this move. It's just cool. I love how it does the zoom in on his face. And I love these too. I love these combo crafts. They're very fun. Oh, yeah, Van is so much more expressive in Kai. It's crazy just looking at these now. And being like, wow, Van really... He's just kind of almost expressionless a little bit. Or he's not expressionless, he's more serious. Whereas in those Kai animations, he's a lot more expressive. Yeah, I ran around and I just fought enemies for like a solid hour. I had so much fun with the gameplay of this section. And that's honestly what most of this section was. Most of this section was just running through this area, getting the little tutorials, and just fighting enemies. Leveling up, getting new quartz, here and there. I think I'm gonna talk about what I wanted to talk about before. It does seem fairly obvious that, at the very least, the evil mare is connected to this place, right? That she's probably using the Red Grendel as sort of a conduit to manifest herself into our world for whatever purpose. It's probably Harwood or the other two. It's Ouroboros. Ouroboros are the ones behind this stuff. Oh, I love this. I love their chain craft. That's so cool. I love Nadia's just little like sadistic smile that she had. Oh, that's so good, man. I can't get over the talking about it being expressive in Kai. I hope those two come back. Because could you imagine how even better their crafts will look? Because what I had originally thought of with the evil mare was I thought maybe she was some form of entity from the beyond, essentially doing what I just said, essentially using the Grendel Zolga as a conduit to manifest from the beyond. Well, not necessarily the Grendel Zolga, but the Genesis that he is in possession of. But I'm definitely more of the mind that, no, yeah, she's definitely connected to this place. I mean, it's obvious at this point, right? Right? Like, it just, in terms of the story, it's what makes the most sense. Why else would we be going through? Oh, right, and then when you clear when you do the little rewards to unlock the next area, you get a special little reward. So I thought that was really cool. It adds this extra little incentive to do those, right? Oh, right, and then the gates, you get different paths to choose from. The different paths give different rewards too. Oh, man. When I saw all just could you imagine if Reverie was like that? I would have played Reverie another like 100 hours. Oh my gosh. I could just see myself getting lost doing these over and over and over just to get little extra rewards and stuff. If you can reset the areas like you could in Reverie, I'm not sure yet. But because I was thinking, oh, the evil mare could be from the Beyond, I've been thinking of what exactly is the Beyond. I love Nadia's little stretching animation there. It's so cute. Because the Beyond is something that we still don't really know. We just have gotten little snippets of it, right? We know that the Grandmaster knows the truth of the Beyond. We know that the Church knows the truth of the Beyond. And that they know the truth of Zemuria as a whole. So that's going to be all interesting when everything comes to a head in Kai, I imagine. What is the Grandmaster? What is the truth behind Zemuria? What's the truth behind Adios? Right? Maybe the DG cult was onto something. In terms of, you know, the belief in Adios, you know, not being a goddess, right? That she really wasn't this, like, being of that kind of power. If Adios is the Grandmaster, if they are synonymous with each other, then that would mean that the Grandmaster brought over the Septarians. She brought over the knowledge of artifacts and stuff like that with her. But then what is the real plan that she has? Because at first it was like, oh, she's gathering the Septarians to do something. But then Ouroboros didn't really seem to mind when the Septarian of Fire and the Septarian of Earth were disposed of in the Cold Steel games. So then their goal isn't necessarily to gather the Septarians. Oh, that was okay. So I ended up doing that. That cross charge move right there. That was pretty cool. But I've seen this theory here and there, and it's definitely an interesting theory. That what if the truth of Zemuria, what if the Beyond, because we know that, well, demons and all kinds of monsters and stuff, based on the fluctuations of the septium veins and everything, are allowed to sort of cross over and come into Zemuria. What if they're not crossing over from another plane? What if the Beyond is simply just... What if Zemuria is just this tiny little sort of space, this tiny piece of land on an even greater scale, and everything around it is the Beyond? And now, what am I getting at? What if the world beyond is the real Gehenna, and the space that Zemuria occupies, that's cut off from the Beyond, is sort of a purgatory, filled with possibly maybe the remnants of humanity, and it would sort of explain why things like, you know, magic exist, why reincarnation is a thing, why possession is a thing. If the world outside of it is Gehenna, and a lot of that stuff is just sort of has been leaking into purgatory, a lot of things would really start to kind of come together. Due to the divergent laws, things like the Salt Pail and Louve and McBurn's weapons that were given to them by the Grand Master that originate from the Beyond can sort of come to exist in this world. And what if the Grandmaster herself is a being from the beyond. Maybe she's some kind of demon lord herself, or just some kind of a being of higher power. Or maybe she's even some kind of like, I don't know, she's just some kind of like overseer from the beyond, just sent here on a mission to see if humanity is sort of worthy of breaking the shackles of their purgatory that they're trapped in. And that everything that's been happening in this world has been sort of this test to see whether or not if humanity can rise up past their limits, and instead of falling into the same traps that humanity seems to always fall into, the lust for power and war and, you know, all the typical sort of negative aspects of humanity. If they can sort of show them that there is that sort of that hope that they can come together and prove that they're not just these horrible monsters. Maybe what keeps happening in Zemuria, you know, the building up of civilizations, and then they get the taste of power, they get their hands on the Septarians and the artifacts that were brought over from the beyond, that the Grandmaster has sort of sprinkled into the world, and they've shown that they can't control themselves, that they give in to their base desires. So then the Grandmaster eventually, maybe it's not even the Grandmaster, maybe it's just that humanity itself is just, it's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, in a sense, where the Grandmaster herself isn't destroying them, she's just simply watching humanity destroy itself. She gives them a chance, and each time they fail, humanity destroys itself, and then it builds itself up again. She gives them another chance, and then it just keeps happening over and over and over. And maybe this timeline that we're in is sort of their last chance to prove that humanity is something that can be even greater than their base desires, that they can rise above them. Maybe this will be the last time, and Zemuria will be destroyed if they can't prove to either the Grandmaster, or maybe the Grandmaster is just a conduit herself. She's just relaying the information to the Beyond, and the people in power over there are maybe the ones who will decide, alright, that's it, we're gonna pull the plug. Maybe the destruction isn't necessarily something that, where it's a physical destruction. Maybe it's just the barriers around Zemuria will collapse, and it will sort of fuse, in a sense, with the Beyond. And in that sense, then, you know, demons and everything will be everywhere, so then they'll just get wiped. Humanity will just get wiped out. Or maybe that's what's going to happen anyway. Maybe that is what's going to happen. Maybe the power of Zemuria itself, with the septium veins, maybe the power of those will dry up, and that's what's sort of keeping the barrier around Zemuria intact. And so all of this, it's sort of been an inevitability from the beginning, and the Grandmaster has been trying to build up humanity so that they can fight back against that inevitable happening and sort of have a chance at survival. She gathers these people who are the strongest, some of the strongest people in the world, with the Anguis and the Enforcers, and she tells them the truth of the world. That's also why the Enforcers can only be people who have some kind of darkness in their hearts, because they've seen humanity at their worst. They've been a part of humanity at their worst. So who else to test the worst parts of humanity than the people who have experienced it firsthand, or who have been directly a part of it, i.e. Maria Bell, Weissman, Novartis, those kinds of people. But then also gathering the people that have hope, that want the best for humanity, or who simply want the best for people that they care about, i.e. Leanne, Vita. It's all really interesting to think about And in order to definitely get my full thoughts on the matter, I would have to actually just write a full-on script for this kind of thing. Because yeah, then we still have the truth of McBurn, that he showed up, 50 years prior, and he ended up fusing with some random person who people have said, oh, what if it's Claude Epstein? What if he fused with him? Well, that's not possible because Epstein, when McBurn came back, there's like a 2-year gap between when Epstein passed away and when McBurn first appears. So it's not him. As cool as that would be, right? That would be a really cool connection. I love this move of Nadia's. It's just it's so awesome. Oh, Pleiades Ray. Yeah, that's the one that got the super upgrade in Kai that we saw. But just as cool as I think that would be, and knowing Falcom, it has to be somebody important, right? I mean, it could just be like, it's not anybody important, it's just some rando dude who he fused with. That's also a possibility. When they sort of reformed the world, the last time, that's how the Demon Lords came into existence, right? So maybe Zemuria has been slowly shrinking. Every single time it sort of resets and starts over. And because the world has been shrinking, the power of the barriers has been waning, which just allows more and more unexplained phenomena from the Zemurian standpoint to start leaking in from the beyond. And because the barrier has gotten to such a weakened state, it allowed those demon lords to sort of either they slipped in of their own free will, or maybe they just inadvertently got sucked in somehow. We still don't really know a whole lot on that stuff. But I mean, they could go as far as to say, oh, some of the demon lords wanted to come in and sort of cause trouble. Some of them were mainly just curious about what the world of Zemuria looked like. Maybe they were just curious of humanity. Maybe that was McBurn. Maybe he just wanted to test his strength against the humans, right? And he doesn't really harbor any sort of ill will towards them, but he just sort of wants to test himself, and that's why when he sort of regains part of his memories in Cold Steel 4, he's like, he just kind of not necessarily gives up, but his attention focuses to the Grandmaster and Campanella, because he's like, oh, you guys tricked me, essentially. We better get those answers in Kai. There's a lot that Kai needs to answer, right? As far as from a lore and a world-building perspective. Oh boy. It's whatever the truth is, right? Even if I'm way off and everything that I'm saying is just complete BS, I still hope it's really cool. It will be really cool. Falcom hasn't let us down in terms of the lore yet. They've done a really good job at being consistent with that stuff. Maybe not consistently delivering info on the lore, but just keeping it consistently interesting, right? I think that's definitely really hard to do, especially with a long-running series like this, where there's so many moving parts and so many things to keep track of. I definitely think that definitely deserves some praise for sure. Is that everything I wanted to ramble about during this section? What am I doing with Swin? I don't know what I'm doing. Because I did kind of blend those two theories together, talking about like, oh, the Beyond could be Gehenna, or the Beyond is just this sort of other dimension where demons and stuff exist. Because if the Grandmaster is Adios, right? And I don't mean Adios as in like the goddess, I mean just Adios as in she's the one that brought over the knowledge of the artifacts and stuff with her, and sort of passed them on to humanity, again as a means of this will be a test, and then she will just sort of disappear and gather her own forces to test humanity. Because she hasn't directly interfered with anything. She just sort of essentially hires the enforcers and the Anguis. She tells them the information and gives them the choice. And I think that's also why she gives the enforcers, in a sense, the freedom to come and go as they please. Not only is she giving them the chance to test humanity directly by interfering with them, she also wants to test them and see if what side they want to support, essentially. That's why they have the freedom to choose sides. Whereas the Anguis, then why would the Anguis not have the choice? Why would the Anguis be more bound to a specific subset of rules than the enforcers? It has to be something along the lines of where the enforcers are told, like, the bare minimum, but the Anguis are the ones who are told maybe even the whole truth. Maybe the Anguis are the ones that know the whole truth, but in order to sort of learn that truth, they have to give up sort of their stakes in the fight. But then Vita Vita does her own thing. And yeah, they do send other members after Vita, but they don't necessarily, like, punish her or anything. Oh, we're already here at the next cutscene. Oh, Nadia's like, oh, I'm tired, guys. Can we take a break, please? Don't worry, she's just lazy. Yes. You should learn how to treat a lady. Oh, what she calls her? She calls her Achan. Not Achan, Achan. Okay, Nadia, sure. Okay, so they want Agnes to treat them more casually. Yeah, they're talking about, okay, how, like, the receptors and everything are, how it just feels real, right? I mean, that's what Van said with the virtual program in the first game. They was like, oh, this feels pretty real. Oh yeah, their coordination is definitely probably some of the best in the series as partners. Yeah, it is very efficient. Yes, that would be due to their background. Oh yeah, totally different from them. Yep. Surprised Agnes was that aware of things. Yeah, she is very smart. Agnes has proven to be very smart. She's very observant, actually. She notices a lot. Poor Agnes. Nope, they're for assassinations. Yep, their skills are for killing. Yep, they were originally assassins and members of the Garden. Which, yep. Yeah. Yeah. 3 and 9 still might be my favorite book in the series. Agnes is putting the pieces together. Van is definitely rubbing off on Agnes in that way, and that's sort of sleuthing, deduction kind of reasoning way. Yep, the Garden. Its official name is 4 Gardens. It's an assassination organization composed of 4 gardens: Swords, Thorns, Arum, and Rust. Each of the gardens has its own overseer, which are the guys that we fought in the last game. The Emperor of Swords, Melchior of Thorns, Olympia of Arum, Ariok of Rust. And the Emperor was the one that Swin and Nadia killed in the book. That's how they broke free. Oh, this music in the background with the dilemma is the name of this song. Oh, it's so good, man. Yeah, Swin and Nadia wanted to deal with them as because they were ex-members, but yeah, they're grateful for what Van and the group did. Yep, the Garden lost all 4 of the head members, so then the person that they're searching of has to be connected with the Garden, right? It's probably the hooded guy that we saw. The Garden has effectively collapsed. One step closer to our leisurely life. Yeah. I wonder what connection that guy has with the Garden. Oh, is this where Rune shows up? Yep. Hey. Oh. And I think he tells them that is it here later. Yeah, and of course they're wary of somebody from the CID, especially somebody as high up as Rune. His glasses are proof of his sinister plans. Yes, Nadia knows. She knows that everyone that wears glasses is evil in this series. Oh, that has to be a joke. That has to be an inside joke. It has to. Former mask. Oh, talking about C. Talking about Rufus. Okay. So they are alone. I mean, yeah. You'd definitely be aware of... Why wouldn't you be aware of Rufus? Why wouldn't you be wary of him? I think definitely Rufus, especially when Lloyd hit him with that talk no jutsu.
Lord Rufus Alperea, I hereby place you under arrest. Your sins are too numerous to count. But the worst, the very worst of them all, is the crime of not understanding just how damn loved you really are.
How did I not see it? That I had what I wanted this whole time.
Rufus has definitely become a changed man. I don't think they need to worry about him. He's still Rufus, right? But he's not trying to prove himself to Osborn anymore. No, she wants to be the cheerleader. She would be cute in a cheerleader uniform. Ooh, I wonder if that's a DLC outfit. I haven't looked at the DLC outfits yet. Oh right, there's a targeting system. I don't remember if this was in the first game. I don't remember if it was. Especially those two with their secret agenda. Same. It's definitely getting more lively, that's for sure. I love Nadia's art here. Actually, I like all their art. I like Swin's art, I like Rune's art. It's really cool. I think it's definitely an upgrade from the first game. Oh man, I got to run with Rune. Rune's got a gun. Oh, Rune's fun to play as. I love that move. That move's cool. Boom! Oh, Rune is just cool, man. She's just such a cool character. What did I do? What did I do first? I don't remember what I did first. Oh, right, his like self-buff move. Rune is actually like, if you can build him properly, I could definitely see him being like one of the best like AoE type characters. I don't know how high his like art strength is compared to his physical strength. It's probably lower than, it's probably higher than Van, but definitely not as high as like Agnes or Nadia, right? But that is also the thing, is even like the characters with like low arts can still use arts to a somewhat decent effectiveness, especially with like buffs that like Nadia has and stuff. But yeah, 1100 on an Argent Thorn, that's not bad. Nadia only did 500, but that's because I think he has like a inherent resistance to wind that I forgot to check. I wasn't really fighting these guys optimally, I was just kind of fighting these guys to just fight them. Just messing around, you know. Oh, I do misclick a decent amount of times. Oh, he has Saint Arrow too. I wonder if you can change those. Oh yeah, as far as theories go, I do think that is all I wanted to talk about. Again, without having written anything down. I was just going off the cuff with all this stuff. It was just stuff that I've just been thinking of recently, as far as like what the truth of the world could be, the truth behind the Grandmaster, why Ouroboros is run the way it is. It's kind of like, it's like is 6 different theories just kind of all thrown together haphazardly. So yeah, no, yeah, just definitely let me Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you think those theories are somewhat plausible, if you think it's something else, possibly, I'd be very curious to see what you guys think. And to just see what other theories are out there that I didn't talk about, that are just things that I didn't think of at this point. Because I definitely think that that's another strong aspect of Trails, is just all the different theories and stuff that you could think of. Because that is gonna suck when we finally get the truth behind a lot of this stuff, and we're not gonna be able to really theory craft anymore, because it's like, ah, well, this is the truth. That's one of the most fun aspects of this, of going through the series from the beginning, is all the different, it's just slowly unraveling the truth and trying to, the enemy got an advantage on me. I was being way too careless, and just trying to just put the pieces together, you know, just be your own detective. Like, even if you're not necessarily, I don't want to say smart, because that feels insulting, but like, even if you're not necessarily the most, like, deep thinker, like, if you're someone that just kind of, you go along for the ride. That's what I like to do with a lot of games. Like, I'll try and think of where the plot's going for some things, but for the most part, I'm just like, I'll just let the story tell itself, right? I'll let the writers tell me the story in their way, and just react to the reveals as they show up. And obviously there are some styles of writing where, oh, I know where this is headed, or you'll get to a point and they'll be about to reveal something, and your mind will sort of anticipate that reveal, and it'll just be like, what? Wait, no, hold on. And then they reveal it, and you're just like, what? Nani? Nandato? Like, that's really fun. That's a fun way to go about experiencing games, in my opinion. But that's the one thing that Trails does, to me, is it brings out that theory crafter in me, which is something that I don't typically get as involved with. I'm usually just more of like a surface level kind of theory guy, where I just make general observations about stuff. But Trails is the one series that I really try and think just as deeply as I can about it, and try to put all the little pieces together and just try to see the bigger picture. And that's really fun. That's been really fun. Even if I'm wrong, and even if the stuff that I say like either doesn't make sense or is disproven with something that I maybe forgot about or whatever, it's still fun to just think of just crazy stuff. Oh, and then here we go. We get to the final boss of the area. Yep, they're saying it looks like a guard from Gehenna. One hell of a surprise. It's the gatekeeper of this floor. Must have been given a false purpose after the hijacking. It won't solve all the issues, but it'll solve the issues on this floor specifically. You get hurt physically and mentally, it can happen in the real life, yep. So, the funny thing with this fight is, oh yeah, and then Take the Grendel is available. Yeah, for certain boss fights. Yeah, you can actually activate the Grendel form now. Which is very funny looking at Kai and seeing Van being able to activate it in the field. Whatever he wants. Gilga Taurus. Yeah, the Taurus is a gatekeeper from, was that Greek mythology? The funny thing about this boss fight is, I actually had to redo this boss fight because well, one, the recording of this video was like 80 gigabytes, and at the time I didn't realize my hard drive was basically full, so it cut off like halfway through this fight. But I really messed up. I had to redo the fight. I lost the first time because I kept everyone bundled together and he kept doing an AoE move and I was just trying to like out-heal the boss instead of, you know, moving. I kept trying to out-heal and give the characters buffs and stuff. It just wasn't really working. I don't think it caught. Yeah, he kept doing that move. And he just kept really hurting everybody. I don't know what I was thinking. I was definitely not in like the I was definitely not in the oh, I'm fighting a boss kind of mood, right? I was more just kind of going through the just going through the motions. I think I was just so mesmerized at being able to activate the Grendel form. Ooh! Ooh, yeah, the S-Craft cut-in for that was so sick. And, like, yeah, just comparing this one to Daybreak, this looks better. Ah, yep. Yep, that's where it cut off. That's where it cut off, right there. Hold on. I was going through and setting stuff again, and and yeah, that's right, I didn't save the game either. So when that happened, and I was like, crap, I had to redo everything. All the running around, all the leveling up, all the setting up of the ornaments, everything. That sucked. So then yeah, this time I then practiced the buddy system. And I had Nadia and Agnes together, and then I had Swin and Van together. Oh yeah, then Swin kicks him up into the air. That looks funny to me. But I love how, like, no matter how big the enemy is, unless there are probably certain enemies that can't be moved, right? Swin's move. But see, that's the one thing I didn't do last time. I didn't do Coin Bullet, so I didn't have the aggro effect on. But then see, then he wasn't doing that big move that was doing tons of damage. He was just kind of doing his basic AoE attack. I think I was definitely trying to be more tactical this time. Yeah, I destroyed him this time. He barely touched me. Like, look, he's almost dead, and he's stunned right now. But the Grendel form is just so powerful, man. Like, 2k? Almost 3k? And then that move. Van did literally like 10k damage himself, and then, yeah, then this finished him. Easy. Easy, almost 14k damage. Bro could not. He was like, I surrender. I tap out. Yep, they got a new hollow core, so that's cool. Shard tokens. I'm curious what you can use to, what you can buy with those. Yep, then Rune gets to see for himself that they're very skilled. And Agnes is like, oh, what do I even say to this kind of conversation? No, it's not solved yet. Van, don't jump to conclusions. We've only recaptured one floor. There's who knows how many floors. I guess, yeah, she didn't give him the specifics, I guess. How many floors? Nothing can be said after the place got hijacked. Yeah, they could just be creating floors as we speak. The rest can be done at your convenience. So, that makes me think that the story will move forward in the real world, and then we can come through here sort of whenever we want to. But our progress will be blocked off based on story progress, right? Like, maybe we'll get to come back and do the next floor in the next chapter, but we'll get sort of locked off. Sort of like how the roots in Reverie got blocked off after a certain point. It'll be like, oh, well, you can't get access to the next floor until after you progress the story. Rune was talking to Gilga. From Gilga, he has a message for them. She has no intention of interfering with their activities in the Republic. So that's sort of a relief for them. With the garden collapse and that person's whereabouts unknown, definitely talking about masked guy. Not C, but the other masked guy. So that guy has to be somebody important, right? Especially if they're looking for him. I've sort of jumped to conclusions and been like, oh, what if he's Ace in disguise? No, I don't think so. That doesn't make sense. Ace is dead. I wonder if he's somebody even higher up than the four heads of the garden? Beach Garden? I wonder if he's like the mastermind behind everything. Reminds me of the other girl. Oh, they're talking about Lapis. Oh, and Bear's like, oh, this girl scares me. She wants to catch me and keep me as a pet. Something she can't overlook. When its virtual space was hijacked and remodeled, it seems they took in a huge amount of information from the Orbital network. Oh, that's right. Preying on various data points in order to expand as much as possible. Oh, right, this is the stuff that we get. Yeah, we get the, like, the CID, like, special report stuff, which is cool. I wonder what other stuff we'll get, because we got quite a bit for just clearing this first floor. So yeah, Mare is definitely she's from the beyond, right? She has to be. She has to be connected to the beyond somehow. She is very mysterious. Yeah, they're wondering if they should ask Ren. But of course, Nadia, her specialty is information and analysis. So she's Again with the trolling. Having Nadia around never gets boring. True. True and real. Oh, Nadia and Ren are going to be quite the duo together, aren't they? Ren's definitely a party member in this game, for sure. I think they show up with like the secret of the legacy of Almada. Right. This is important. They're not technically... No, they don't have a connection to Gerard. They don't have a direct connection to Gerard, just... Yeah. Krail Village. 2 years ago, we stopped by after getting a lot of things done. Okay. We all took a break, relaxed. A lot of galettes. Dang, they stayed there for an entire month. Yeah, I do believe... I remember one of the villagers alluding to those two. And I was like, oh, wait, they were here? Yeah, they went right after the Babel incident. Is the legacy the Genesis? The last Genesis that they had, is the legacy some kind of research that allowed for the creation of the Grendel? Of another Grendel? Yeah, it's definitely not the reactor weapon. Could it be something as simple as the code that they used to hijack the fairy tale garden from Marduk? Could that be the legacy? Could it be Mare, the evil Mare? Seems to be hidden outside the capital. Messeldom, yep, we get to go there. Their old stomping grounds. Oh, that's gonna be exciting. A port city facing the North Sea. It's famous for trade with Remeferia and, ooh, ballet. They're also, yep, the well-known film festival that was supposed to be there, but it was cancelled. Yep, due to all the fires and terrorist attacks. Almada definitely wanted to shift it to Tharbad, for sure. Yep, the Genesis is glowing, so that basically means we're on the right track. That's where we're going to be going. Yep. Something's happening over there. Yep. It's sort of like a, the Genesis is kind of like the compass from Pirates of the Caribbean, where it sort of points you into the direction of your desires, right? In a sense. It's kind of an interesting connection to make. Agnes wants to go with us, so... But of course, yeah, she can't, because if she's absent too much at her school, she won't be able to keep being a student at our RMAs. So then our Swin and Nadia coming with us? Oh, and I think Elaine is coming with us too, I think. Oh right, Van had something in mind. They're gonna try gathering information. They're gonna stay here. Huh. I wonder what Van wants them to do. Yeah, now he has a 4 SPG for them. Interlude end. Yep, receive 5,000 Mira. Only one thing. This was interesting. I like this. It introduced a new gameplay mechanic. We got a little bit of information on things happening. A little bit of intrigue. Nadia got MVP. Perfect. Yep. Then there's all these investigation reports. Do I want to go through them? Not really. It's just sort of just a brief overview of the various different organizations and stuff that we've had in the game so far. There's 4 members of the Gralsrichter we haven't met, not even to mention the rest of the members of Ouroboros that we haven't seen. There's the Angus we haven't seen, there's the Enforcers we haven't seen. There's so many characters we have not seen yet. So I will be very curious to see what happens in Messeldom. I know we're still super early in the game, or well, I'm still super early in the game. And again, I know that this doesn't really push the overall story of the series forward, and we haven't really gotten to the part where, like, timey-wimey shenanigans have come into play, and, like, caused all kinds of disturbances. Because that's the thing with time travel stuff, is if it's handled incorrectly, it can just feel like it's just shoved in there as like a plot device, right? And it can just cheapen a lot of things. If it repeats things too much, it can just feel like a chore to get through. So, as of right now, my opinion on the game is pretty good. I quite enjoy what we've got so far, and I'm very curious to see how my opinion will continue to change and evolve as time goes on, especially once we start getting to the bad parts of the game, the air quotes bad parts of the game. I'm very glad to have finally had the time to record all of this, and I can't wait to keep playing the game and continue giving my thoughts to you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, would you please hit that like button? It really helps me out in terms of the algorithm and just getting these videos out to more fans of this series. Oh, my voice is starting to go after all this talking I've done. Yeah, feel free to leave a comment on anything I talked about. Even if it's just a simple comment like, "Oh, I'm excited," or "This was fun." You know, just I appreciate the really long comments, but I also really appreciate the simple comments. And if you made it to the end of the video, you aren't subscribed, you consider hitting that button. You can keep up to date with all my future Kiseki related content. Would greatly appreciate that. And of course, very special thank you to my channel members, KM115 and Eri Hitsuki. You guys' support means a whole lot to me. KM, I know you probably won't listen to this section for maybe not ever, but for a very long time. He hasn't played Daybreak yet. He's waiting for the official English release. But if you're listening at some point in the far future, just thank you. Really just appreciate everything you do. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Peace out.
All right, what's next?